Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video. And just in terms of how I look, I have flu. So no amount of makeup was going to make that look good. However, I am smiling because today we've just had the Hasbro marketing team do their Marvel Legends video. And sometimes because I only focus on X-Men, sometimes as an X-Men fan, it's either yay or it's like meh. And this was a yay day. Firstly, they introduced us to two free pack boxes. Now, those free packs we were already sort of aware of anyway. However, they solidified it. So they focused on the 275th issue, which is around, I always say gold and blue. However, they said yellow and blue. So potato, whatever you want to call it. And they've given us, first of all, one pack is, if I remember correctly, at the top of my head, is Psylocke, Gambit, Storm. I could be right. I could be completely wrong. And then the other box set, I feel like I've got it wrong already. The other box set is Jubilee, Banshee, and Forge. And if you've already got this dude over here, then you have pretty much that whole team. And then they also teased the potential fact that at some point you could get that Ultimate Professor Xavier figure that went with that team, where it sort of wasn't him, if I remember correctly. I would need to go and read that again. And that's in Jim Lee's run up there. And then they went on to give us even more greater news in terms of, once again, nothing we sort of knew about. It's we've seen pictures of it. Was the Blob, and they got a Blob out. It's very articulated. I was very impressed with how it looked and how it felt, and the fact that they said that it's pretty much the same size as the one we've got makes me very happy, because I really love that Blob figure, and I sold mine a couple of years ago. I sold it for a very good price. I sold it on this weird notion that at some point we would get a new Blob figure because they were releasing other Brotherhood figures. So I was always very hopeful that was going to happen. So I was very, very pleased that that happened. And then we got another great announcement, which was the 80s Outback Rogue, which the Australian Outback, believe it or not, is one of my favorite teams. And I think when I started reading it, because I read that era very late, I'd read pretty much every other era but that era. So when I read it, I wasn't, for some reason in my mind, I didn't feel, I felt like I was going to be reading not a very good era, but it's an absolutely amazing era, and I recommend that era to anyone. It's a solid era, a great team, and maybe it was a fact because they're almost like, sometimes when I look at X-Men, you've got like the X-Men that are like the be careful about my words, but like the core sort of X-Men. You've got like Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, and then you've got sort of like these sort of X-Men on the outside, and then you got the likes of Storm, Rogue, Psylocke, and they sort of sit outside of that main core, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. Then they dropped the bombshell. Now, this was a very, very nice bombshell. I was quite impressed this year with the wave that we had earlier in the year, where it had the likes of characters that have never been released before in X-Men waves, and I really did like that. That it doesn't have to be the standard Wolverine and whoever the core X-Men to sell figures. So they've done it again. So they've given us Quentin Quiro from, as far as I'm concerned, it's a House of X Jonathan Hickman's universe. It is that Quentin. Or actually, maybe you could say, no, I'm not. This is this era. This is Quentin Quiro, who is with this current X-Force team. Then they released an unsurprisingly figure, which I'm not surprised, because a few years ago there was a Spider-Man wave with I can't remember the character's name. That's gonna bug me. Puma. And I always thought that that figure could almost be Fang. And I'm not sure if it's the same figure or a similar figure, but we're getting Fang. So the Shi'ar's Imperial Guard finally has a new member. We have waited for that figure for a long time. But then it got even more exciting. So I'm going to actually jump because they gave us even more in terms of that Shi'ar universe, which is a very important universe to X fans. They gave us Christopher Summers, aka Corsair, which looks, once again, stunning. Very happy as a figure that we have wanted. And now the thing with them releasing these, I feel like we could get more, which is brilliant, because then they came back down to earth, and they didn't just give us some normal characters that they know are going to sell. They went and gave us some Generation X figures. So they gave us Chamber. Damn, that just blew my mind. And then they went on and gave us Monette. I'm in awe here. And then I do like the fact that they have gone back to correct some wrongs. So we've now got a new Astonishing X-Men White Queen. So I do like that. The last, although I feel like I really would love Diamond White Queen. But you feel like it's coming now, which is better than not coming. And next year is a big year. It's a long year. 365 days, I hope, 52 weeks. If I've done my maths correctly. I haven't done my maths correctly. I have no idea. But that's what you expect in a year anyway. So you can only hope that we are going to get a Diamond Emma Frost at some point. And then they went on to give us an Astonishing X-Men Cyclops. Now, the last Astonishing X-Men Cyclops we had was the Broad Queen back in, I'm going to say 2009. I could be absolutely wrong, but I feel like it was that kind of era. And after that, we did get another Cyclops, but that was more Cyclops when he was the leader of Utopia. He had the X there, whereas that first Astonishing X-Men kind of didn't have the X there. So there it is. So wow, what a day to be an X fan, to have all these wonderful, wonderful announcements that made me very, I'm not kidding, made me very happy. And I've been with the recent HasLab, I was not hating on Hasbro, but I was very very negative. So it's nice to be quite positive about these things, because I do like collecting these figures. They do bring me joy. I've been collecting since 2006. You know, I've been all in with X-Men. So don't get me wrong, if that HasLab was X-Men and it was crap, I would have backed it, just so I'm clear. But it's nice to see some of those positives, etc. So anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.